Who wins the battle between landlords and notes? Stay tuned. Welcome to this week's edition of NoteSchool TV, episode 230. We are happy to have you on today. And well, today Eddie and I are going to do a lesson. But before we do, let's take care of some housekeeping. So number one, make sure and like this episode. And again, I know I say this every time, folks, but this is one that you'll want to share with your friends, especially your friends that have, they have rentals. They really probably want to see this and have some interest in having true passive income. So make sure and like this episode, share it. If you haven't already subscribed to NoteSchool TV, go ahead and do that. And then number three, hit that bell notification ding so that you'll be aware of when we go live every Wednesday at 11:05 Central Time. And if you have questions on what we do at NoteSchool, want more information, want to attend one of our two-day classes, simply go to noteschool.com/TV. Again, noteschool.com/TV. Well, okay, guys, we have an asset for you today. And what I want to do over the next 15 minutes or so is I want to go in and show you what are the possibilities when you buy a note. So we're going to first talk about the note here, and then we're going to go through those possibilities. So this is purchasing a full purchase note. We're purchasing the entire note on this, and the price on this asset is $185,117.49. So some of the specifics on this would simply be this. This is a first position loan. This loan is serviced by a third party, meaning a licensed, compliant third party is servicing the loans, receiving the payments, and taking care of all the tax IRS regulations and all of that. So this obviously is a performing loan. Estimated market value is $230,000. The note was originated in April of 2024. So it's got about 11 months of seasoning on it, which means the borrower's been in the house for 11 months, 12 months, making payments on this. The beginning balance was $200,000, and now with the magic of of interest being collected up front, the unpaid balance, the UPB unpaid balance, has only gone down a few $100s. The interest rate on the loan is 11.25. And some of you may be thinking, well, that's a higher rate than what you can get at the bank. Well, what you can get at the bank is a conforming rate, which as of today is about 7%. We're talking about a non-conforming borrower. We call them a penalty box buyer, and they have been fully vetted. They have an RMLO certificate, right? So it means that an RMLO has checked the credit, check the income, check the employment, and the debt to income ratio on this deal. And it's a great borrower, great neighborhood, great credit. It's a newly remodeled house. And a professional real estate investor went in and bought this and rehabbed it and created this note. And now they want to sell the note so that they can go on and do their next deal. So this is available. Again, this would be available through Colonial Funding Group, which is our sister company. Now, let me give you one piece of advice here. This note we're using just strictly as an example. This has been sold, so it's not available. And that is available to folks when we have notes that we have pop up here. They're available to our NoteSchool members. All right, so it was a 30-year loan. They've paid 11 payments, so there's 349 payments remaining. This, by the way, is not correct. That was just an adjustment that I didn't make. And the monthly payment is $1942.52. So the principal interest payment is $1942.52. So you are buying for $185,117, 349 payments of $1,942 a month. Okay? That's exactly what you're buying. And if you bought this, your yield is 12.25. So if you got a 12.25 yield, yes, you're buying it at about a $15,000 discount off of the what the balance is on the loan. So if you bought it and it paid off tomorrow, paid off early, you'd make 15,000 bucks overnight. Okay. So let's talk about what we can do with this loan. Now, first of all, I just want to do a real quick rental versus notes. So if you own this home as a rental, I want to show you some comparison here, right? So you would pay $230,000 for this house. That's what the house is valued at. This house rents for $1,540 a month. And what we know is that really if you've got a $1,540 payment, the numbers show that, and research shows that you're really going to lose about half of that in expenses, your taxes, your insurance, your reserves for maintenance, your management, all of those things that you have to do. So really, your net income on this would be $770 a month. Now, if you bought the note, or if you own the note on this, your collateral value is still, it's $230,000, but remember, you're only paying $185,000 for the note. Remember, over here, you're the landlord. Over here, you're the bank. Would you rather be the bank or would you rather be the landlord? Well, let's look at the numbers. The monthly payment on this is $1,942, but you only lose about $32 a month in the loan servicing fees. So over here, your net income is $1,910 a month, right? Who's paying the taxes? Who's paying the insurance? This is your net income. This is your net income on the rental. So the difference is $1,140 a month. So would you rather receive $1,910 a month or $770 a month? Choice is yours, right? And again, you have no challenges. The bank is the bank. Something happens to the house and you're a landlord, you're going to get the phone calls, right? But if you're the lender, well, you don't call the lender if the water heater goes out, right? So that's the difference between the two. Now, here again is the balance on this loan. Okay, so the loan amount, the balance is $199,000. It's an 11.25% loan. There's 349 payments left, and it's $1,942.52 is the monthly payment. That's what you're buying. But again, you're paying $185,717 for that asset. Okay. So what are the possibilities? What if we just kept it for cash flow, right? Okay, so here's what that looks like. There's your note investment right here. And so what are we getting for that note investment? That 156 is not relevant there, guys. So in the first 5 years, what you're going to get back in total cash flow is $116,651. You're buying this note and you're not doing anything with it. You're buying it just for the monthly income. So it's like buying an annuity for $185,000 and you're going to get $1,910 net a month for the next 349 months. Yeah, that's really good. That's a 12.25% yield for you. But here's the important thing. The payments are $1,910, as we've talked about. So after you've received 97 of those payments, 8 times 12 is 96. So you receive 8 years and 1 month of payments, and you've got every dollar of your investment back, here to here. Now, so what that means is that you've got 252 payments remaining after you get your money back, which gives you a total profit on this over time of $481,320. I don't know about you, but as Eddie would say, if that doesn't light your fire, your wood's wet. So you could simply do that with it and keep it and just get the monthly payment, right? Got all of your investment back. You're still getting the $19.10 a month every month. I'm just saying you only have to receive 8 years of those to get all your money back. And then everything else for the next 252 months. Now, somebody's thinking, what if it pays off early? Well, if it pays off early, it just means we all get paid early and we all make a lot of money on it, right? Okay, so let's, there's the line around the cash flow. What else could we do? We could sell a piece of this, okay? We could sell a certain number of payments. So again, in the green there, we've got the cost of 185, 117. I said 717 a minute ago, but it's 117. So here's what we could do, folks. We know that we've got 349 payments remaining. So we could then sell to a passive investor. We could sell 120 of those payments, 10 years of the payments, and we could sell that partial, right? 10 years of payments, 120 payments for $199,726. What's that done for us? We've got every dime of our investment back up front, plus we've got a today profit down here of $14,609. Okay, so we've got today money of that. Okay, now we've got zero invested in this note. Zero. We've got less than zero because we took a $14,609 profit today. And then when this note, now again, we don't receive any more money for 10 years, for 120 months. But then when it reverts back to us, we then have 234 payments remaining of $1,910 a month, which our passive investor is getting 7% on their money. And we're getting 229 remaining payments of $1,910 a month, 437 over time. So here's the deal, right? We've got a profit today of $14,609, money in our pocket today. What if you were going to retire in 10 years? You could say, okay, I'd sell a 10-year partial, get all my money back, have the profit today of $14,609, and then I've got 234 payments remaining. I need to change this. I'll make myself a note, but it is 234 payments remaining. And then for 234 months, we're going to get $1,910 or $437,000. Say it ain't so, Joe, but yes, it is. It's the magic of investing in notes. A lot of leveraging techniques. So what else could we do? Well, remember that a house is an asset and we can borrow money against a house. A boat would be, well, some people may argue that a boat would not be an asset. But anyway, you can borrow money against that. A note is an asset as well. So you can borrow money against a note, right? It's just one of those things that you pledge the note. That's why we say it's pledging the note here. You pledge the note as the asset and you can borrow against that. Okay, so if we go back here, this top line here is, and by the way, this is also called doing a hypothecation. That's the big word for pledge. So remember the note balance was $199,726. The interest rate was $11.25, and the monthly payment was $19.10. And actually, there was 349 payments remaining. So I'm going to change those. 349. Okay. And then we bought this balance for this for 185,717. That gave us a 12.2 yield. And we're receiving $1,910 a month for 349 months. Now, we can then go in and borrow the same partial investor that we used to borrow or to sell a partial to. We remember we sold 120 payments and we put $14,609 in our pocket up front. We waited until the partial investor received their 120 payments. On the 120th payment, it came back to us for the remaining period of time. But remember, we had no money invested in this. So what we're saying here is that we borrow $165,000 from the same private investor at an interest rate of 7%. And our private investor then is going to get $1,103 a month of this $1,910 payment. So we've got, let's say you were buying a note and said, well, I don't have the entire $185,000. So I could go in, find a private investor that'll loan me the $165,000. I want to keep $20,000 invested in this. Okay. This is where it gets really amazing and the leverage really kind of reaches out and slaps you in the face. So our $20,000 investment is going to give us a payment, because remember, the total payment is $1,910. Our private investor is getting $1,103 a month. That leaves $806 a month coming in, or $9,680 in annual income. So I think that if we received about 21 of these payments, we would have every dime of our investment back, and we would still receive $806 a month. Could be for 349 months. Could be for another 6 or 7 years. But again, we're going to make money both ways, right? We're going to make money on this. If it pays off early, that just means that our private investor gets paid back whatever the balance is on their loan, and we're going to get paid back whatever the balance is on what we're still owed. Okay? I think that's amazing. I mean, if we look at that, that's around a 40% return on our investment. We've got $20,000 invested in this to receive $806 a month. This is what we do at NoteSchool. We show you how to do this, and we show you what the AM schedules look like and what all of it is done, right? So what else could we do with this? Well, you could simply just buy get the note under contract, and you could flip the note, right? You can flip a house, you can get it under contract, flip the contract to somebody else and to a long-term investor, and we just make a one-time income. In this case, we flip the note for $195. And we paid we've got it under contract for $185. Our fee is $10,000, $10,192. That gives us one-time income, right? Why would we want to do that when we can do all of these other things with creative money and with passive investors? Now, again, $10,000 today. And that's an 11.5% yield to our investor, by the way. And then one of the things that Eddie's been working on for the last year or so is selling a piece of the monthly payment to an institutional investor. It could be a bank. It could be an insurance company, right? So this is going to get a little bit deeper, but stick with me. And hey, if you have a bunch more questions, you can put them in the question box there, or you can simply come to one of our 2-day classes, right? So here's the loan, right? The monthly payment on this is $1,942. So we sell 80% of that payment to an institutional investor. So we sell $1,554 of that. And so that means that we keep $388 a month of that. So our institutional investor is going to receive the whole payment monthly. They're going to keep $1,554 of that monthly payment. And they send us the $388 a month in difference. Okay? So again, we're selling 80% of the payment. We're keeping 20%. So here's what it looks like. So here is the note cost. There is the total monthly payment. We're selling off. Yeah, we're carving off, and our institutional investor is buying the $1,554 for the term of the loan. So for that, the investor is paying $184,256. So what are we saying? Well, we get to keep the $388 difference, and our investment in this asset is then only $1,461 a month. $1,461 a month. Stay with me. So in 4 months, at $388 a month, we've got 100% of our investment back. We then have 345 remaining payments of $388 a month, totaling $133,860. Now, here's what I want you guys to really, really, really get. Whether we sell the partial, whether we do a pledge, whether we do the institutional funding here with the participation, we are getting the biggest part of the investment back. So we're going to get these payments here, right? Plus we've got all of our money back. And what can we do with that? We can then go in and we can reinvest that cash. That's leveraging, right? That's then taking this 184 that we've got, and we can go buy another note. And the great thing that we look at with this institutional funding that we have in place now for our NoteSchool members is simply this. It allows us to not have to have a private investor, because the institutional investor is going to continue to do this over and over and over. Okay? We're getting our money back. We go put it in another note. And at some point in time, whatever your goal is, you've built your own bank. You've built your own bank. Now I'm going to show you one last slide here. So here's what it looks like. We sell that part. We keep this part, right? So there's the total monthly payment. That's what we sell, or that's what we get back from our investor, our institution. And this is our investment. So that's the 185. Our institutional investor is getting a 9.5% return on their money. Now, I'm just going to say it again. If this doesn't light your fire, your wood's wet. Yeah. Our $388 or $1,461 a month or upfront investment is going to net us 349 payments of $388. Yeah, you read that right. That's not 31.8. That's 318%. And then finally, overall, the loan traded at a 12.25% yield. This is us right here. So my question really is, note something that you would be interested in. I think so. We love them. Yeah. So that's it for today. So let's just when do we get together? Well, we get together on NoteSchool TV every Wednesday at 11:05 Central Time, and we will see you same place. Same time, 11:05 Central Time on Wednesday. Next week, you guys have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you on next week's episode. Thanks.